you do have little stickies here. You can take your cutters, you can cut each one of those little things off. Doesn't take very long. With me doing it right now, it probably will, because it's about 5 o'clock in the morning and my brain's starting to shut down. But that's normal. So I'm going to cut all these little prickly things off of here. Ooh, I'm going to do 2 at a time. Alright, so get those off of there. Still kind of pokey there, but not a big deal. It's going to be sewed down anyway, so it's going to be right up against the other piece. Not a biggie. What we'll do is we'll sew that piece down first, and then we'll come back through, and we're going to take the wire cutters and we're going to snip around here in a circle. You always want to start out small. It's better to start out small than big, because you can always go bigger, can't go smaller. So you start just with a fairly good circle about this far down. Just go around in a circle. If that's not going to be big enough for you, you can go down one more and keep going down. Depending on what you're trying to catch, here in New Mexico, our fish for some reason don't grow. So we've got really small minnows. Unless you're doing shad or shiner or something like that, bigger fish, you're going to want a pretty good sized hole on it so they can get in there. If you're just going for smaller fish, something like that, you can go smaller on the hole. Crayfish, anything like that, you're going to want a pretty good sized hole on it, depending on where you live. Hopefully you're lucky, you don't live in New Mexico and you've got fish that are normal size, and you'll be able to put a bigger hole in there. So, basically that's where we're going to go next, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. Alright, so basically what we've got here, get a little closer here, thread needle again. Here we go. So what we're going to do is we want to figure out how far down we want to make this hole, how big we want to make it. We can start off down further, just tie a piece of wire in if we go too far, but you don't want to go not enough, or else you're not going to be able to make that size of hole that you're wanting. So I'm actually going to start down here just a little bit, and go one more down. So we want to go right on the end of this, because we want this to stay as flat as possible so nothing gets up inside of there. So basically we'll start it right there. And we're going to pull this line through and then back through one of the other squares so they're away from each other. So basically what we have is that one piece right there. It's going around one piece of wire, which is going to hold it down. So we have that going out through. Make it really nice and tight. Another knot, tight. And we'll do one more just for it. Really tight. Okay. So we've got that started. And what you want to do is cinch it down really good, make sure it's good and tight. And then you want to take your needle and you want to go back over the top of it this direction so that knot goes over into it. Just like that. Okay, so from there, same thing as we were doing with the cylinder. In and out, back and forth, over and over, until you can't handle it anymore. Getting the corner on each one. My knots are coming out again. Wiggle, wiggle, shake, shake, get it through. Pulley, pulley. And do it some more. At this point, you're going to get tired of sewing, want to go throw up. Go ahead and go throw up, and then come back and finish your job. And like I said, it's late here, and there's a bunch of holes that look like one big hole now. And if I had decided to do this at a better time of the day, I could probably see better. But hey, what's the fun in that? So we keep going. And here's where it changes up. I'm just kidding, it doesn't change up. It's still the same thing over and over and over. Oh, it does change up. I get a knot. Woohoo, something different. Oh, that one came out really easy. Oh well, maybe next time. Okay, so at this point, pull really hard and hurt yourself. Ow. Because there's little sticky things all over the end of this thing. Okay, so I want to pull on and make sure it's nice and tight, nice and uniform through there. Still not done with the sewing, but you thought I was. So, getting down to the end now. In another 15 or 20 minutes. Just kidding. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay, so last stitch going through there now. Pull on it, make sure it's nice and tight. Don't hurt yourself too bad because you still need that hand. And now I'm just going over and over and over on the end, making sure that I get this end secured down really nice. You want to be careful, make sure that you don't get the ends. Get it over the top of the ends where it's all pokey. And we'll go one more just for good measure and to take that knot out. So now down to the end, I make my loop like I always do. What comes next? You got it. 3 little circles around the string there. Pull it up. Catch it on everything. And pull it tight. Don't pull it too tight or you'll slip and one of these things will go through your finger. Believe me, I speak from experience. So, you want to cut the ends off here a little bit, like that. Take your handy down to a little, preferably we make it stop rocking back and forth before you do it. Bring those tips down. Nice little rule of thumb with this masonry line is you can take your lighter, go back over it fairly quickly. For some reason, that actually hardens it. Kind of strange. Alright, so there's one. We got that one all solid, all together. Notice how that isn't moving. It's not up anymore. It's heading out of the way. Now you still have this one on the inside. You have that one there. But you don't have to worry about that one. Because like I said before, when you put it inside of your cylinder, you're going to sew the top all the way around. That being one of the parts that are at the top will be sewed in to the top of this. So it's not going to move around and everything's going to be fine. So I'm going to get the other one sewed up and then we'll come back to cutting the end off of it, making the opening. I'll show you how to do that in a second. So basically what we have is the comb is already stitched together. So you want to cut out the centerpiece here, which is going to be the part that the fish go through. They'll go through this direction. Like I said before, you don't want it to be too big, don't want it to be too small. It's basically start in one spot. I'm going to go down to about right here, which is about the 5th square end. And that's where I'm going to start, just because I kind of already know where it's going to go from there.